Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another deck profile. This is Joey from Crossroad TCG. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're bringing you our Shenron deck profile, the black Shenron leader out of the structure deck. I've had so much fun playtesting this deck and this leader. I'm really happy with the build that I'm gonna showcase to you guys right now. It is constantly in flux. There's constantly things moving up in ratios or new techs I'm trying out. But at this very moment, I'm very happy with the list I'm going to tell you guys about and kind of how it works and why I think it's really good. So before we get into this video, the channel has grown so greatly over the past couple months, and I'm super grateful for that. Thank you guys all so much. If you guys have not yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. Maybe share this video with a friend who's looking to play the Shenron deck, because by the time set 5 comes out, we're going to be doing a ginormous giveaway, guys. We're going to be doing a box set 5 play mat, potentially packs from recent regionals, tournament packs. We're gonna do one ginormous giveaway with multiple different prizes from multiple different winners. The more subscribers we can get by that point, the bigger this giveaway will be. So please do hit that subscribe button. Please do share this video with your friends. Now that we have that out of the way, we'll get into the deck profile. All right, so we have the Shenron leader, who is the Dragon Ball leader on the, I guess it's usually it's like awaken, unawaken. I guess it's unwished side, so we'll call it the unwished side. So the Dragon Ball's on the unwished side. It's 10k leader, but it has a permanent that cannot attack. And I will be honest with you guys, this permanent is kind of unfortunate. It kind of sucks when you're going up against Storm and they drop a board of Gotens that you can't necessarily swing at with the leader itself. But that's only a small deterrent, and I would not call that necessarily a turn off from the deck or anything like that. But just something to keep in mind. All right, so activate main. Switch card to active mode, choose up to 2 Dragon Balls from your deck or life and add them to your hand, and shuffle any area you look through. So the fact that your leader literally just says, hey, +2, have fun with that. That is excellent. That is so good. So the way it works is you tap it down, you are allowed to look through both your life and deck in the same turn. You don't have to like pick one or the other, you can do both. And typically what I like to do is I like to pick them firstly I'll look through my life, see how many Dragon Balls are in my life. I've never really had more than 2 Dragon Balls in my life, and any other thing than that is really unlucky or unlikely. And it's not even unlucky depending on the matchup. If it's against Storm, it's a bit unlucky, but if it's against anything else, it's not the end of the world. So I look through my life first, I'll look through my deck, and then I'll pull 2 out of my deck. I'll leave the ones in my life for last, because you know, throughout the course of the first few turns when your opponent's going to swing at you, they're going to give you cards off your life, so you're a little bit more likely to draw into those Dragon Balls than the ones in your deck. So I'll draw the ones in my deck first with my leader effect and leave the ones in my life for last. So when you have 7 Dragon Balls in your drop area, you can flip this card over and get 1 desire card back from your drop area. And I'll talk about how to kind of get that effect off to its max potential once we get into the deck list. So on the awaken side, we have Miraculous, Advent, Shenron. So permanent still can attack. Activate main, choose one of these effects, draw 1, choose 1 desire card in your hand and activate it. If you have the appropriate energy to normally activate it, you activate for free. That desire card will go to the drop area. That's how it's being ruled. And his remove 7 Dragon Balls effect is to choose one of your battle cards, give it 10k power, and triple attack for the duration of the turn. So really cool thing about this deck, and that wish effect kind of emphasizes this, is that this deck can create a Wincon out of nowhere, which I really like. It kind of just really diversifies threats and puts a lot of pressure on. So I'm going to talk about how the deck does that now that we get into the main deck. So 7 Dragon Balls, gotta play them. You can experiment with different ratios of the other Dragon Balls, like the 1 and 2 star Dragon Ball. I like the 1 star Dragon Ball. 2 star I'm not a huge fan of, but the 1 star Dragon Ball is cool because it can set up your wish plays to reborn things. But we play a card in the deck that handles that later on, so I figured I just play the 7 Dragon Balls. Quick, easy, simple, best for going up against Storm because you don't want to be paying energy to activate Dragon Balls to flip over. Then we have the 4 super combos, Temple, Rescue, Trunks, gotta play it. And then we have a ratio of 3 Child's Wish and 2 World Peace. So one of the issues with this deck is that it is quite extra card heavy, and sometimes that could be an issue. You don't ever count the 7 Dragon Balls as extra cards, because as soon as you draw into them, they are replacing themselves. So those don't really count, but still with the 5 wishes, the 3 objections, the 4 beans if you don't have a blue up, the nimbuses, and the battering, it gets a little high up there. So I'm trying out this ratio of wishes right now, and so far it's been working out pretty fine. You want to see a Child's Wish as early as possible, and with the 7 Dragon Balls literally just saying dig this far deep into your deck, it's very likely to see it. So you do want to see that before you're able to flip over and wish. But even if you flip over and wish without having a desire engraved, it's not the end of the world, because your leader on the wished side is infinitely better than your leader on the unwished side. So it's really good to have the Child's Wish in drop area, but if you don't get to that, it's not the end of the world. But 3 Child's Wish, 2 World Peace. Child's Wish is the one you want to get off before you do flip over, because it's the easiest one to start off the game with. So a lot of big combos in the deck will be involving getting certain 3 or 2 drops to the drop area, like Spirit Charge Trunks, like the quick thinking Gotenks. Then you're hard casting Child's Wish for 2 to bring back a Gotenks, and then you're going to flip over your Wish Leader, get the Child's Wish back to hand, and then you can free activate Child's Wish to get back something like a quick thinking Gotenks, like a Source of Power Stone Goku, like an Explorer Bulma, and it's just insane value. And once I get to a couple more cards in the deck, we'll really get into the nitty gritty combos. 1 Shenron, the Wish Granter. I'm not playing the 4-drop Shenron. It's just been very, very kind of mediocre in my testing. I'm playing a yellow card that has a very similar effect. It doesn't give things crit, but it doesn't tap energy, which is one of the biggest utilizations of the Shenron. And the thing with the Shenron is that if it sticks around, you can continuously activate its effect. But in my testing, I've just been facing so much Gogeta that realistically, it doesn't stick around very often. So I'd rather dedicate that space to cards that are on color. And the 1 Shenron, the Wish Granter, every single game I play with this deck, I'm like on the verge of like either decking out or like 10 cards in deck. That's usually the spot where I win the game. So the 1-of is totally fine, and it's one of those things in the deck that allows you to make a Wincon out of nowhere. So it's one of those things that you can give something triple strike, you can reborn its untapped 4 to be really defensive, you can bring back any 3-drop you want to go for game potentially. So there's a lot of flexibility with it. I can see bumping it to 2, but right now I've been actually really happy with 1, because the triple attack on your leader is almost always accessible. So there's that aspect to it. But the 1 Shenron Wish Granter, it kind of declumps the deck on 110k / uncomboable cards, and it is there when you need it most of the time. So the 1's been cool. The 4-drop Shenron, I think, is a really great card, but with the amount of removal that's going to be in the format, I am not a huge fan of it at the current moment. So that's my reasoning on that ratio. 4 Senzu Bean, gotta play it because we're playing a very big blue package, and because the Storm never dies, as a teammate Matt Combs says. So the Storm never dies. You gotta play this card so you can fight off Storm. 3 Objection. Objection is insane right now in any mid-range deck you're trying to play, because it just gets you there faster, and it's just really, really good. The only downside to it is you are playing a heavy extra card lineup. I tested the Supreme Kai, the East Kai, the Mana Dork, but I wasn't a huge fan of her. It's really nice that it doesn't neg 2 from your hand. It's really nice that it's a 5k combo, and it's really nice that you can reborn it off your different wishes. My main issue is that I was being forced to tap it too early, and then it would just die on a following turn, and then it wouldn't be a permanent energy ramp, and I would get screwed because of that, basically. So Objection, although it is a bit brickier in terms of trying to defend yourself, it's just way more reliable in terms of advancing your game state. So that's the reason I play Objection over the East Kai, the Mana Dork Kai. 4 Quick Thinking Gotenks. This card is one of the best cards to come out of set 5. I'll tell you that right now. This card is absolutely insane for early to mid game pressure. So this is one of the main targets for Child's Wish. It just swings for a crit and draws you a card. It just puts your opponent at a giant deficit, especially if you can spam this onto the board early with a combo that I will get into with Fledgling Talent Pan and a Child's Wish. 2 Battle Class Vegeta is one of our Wincons in the deck. You can go for a triple strike that has triple attack thanks to your leader effect, and if your opponent does not have access to a Mafuba, giving this thing triple attack will almost certainly be game. If they do have access to the Mafuba, you don't care if you have the Battering Laser in hand, so there's that option as well. So a lot of options for Adult Class Vegeta to just outright win you a game. Then we have the 3 Ultimate Fusion Gogeta. This card is arguably the best bomb card in the game right now, because just what it does, it literally just says +4. If your opponent has a board full of non-barrier creatures, just says +4, which is absolutely nuts, and it just puts huge pressure on. So playing it at 3, absolutely incredible card. 2 Spirited Charge Trunks. This is a tech from my teammate Chris Welch. Shout out to him. This card is really, really solid right now. It usually comes up to bring your desires back from your drop area to your hand, so you can constantly recycle them. So this will be one of the early things you bring back off of your Child's Wish if you see it early enough. And when you do play this card, if you like to 5 or more, you can get 2 Dragon Balls from your deck and place them in the drop area. So it can help you to hyper wish, which is really good, but the majority of the time I do use it for the ability to get the desires back from the drop area to the hand, so you can constantly reuse them. So setting that up early just provides a lot of value for you. Now we have our yellow package. So for Flying Nimbus, we're playing a yellow package because it offers a lot to the deck, and Flying Nimbus is one of those things that offers a good defense against Storm. So we're playing that at 4. That's our main negate in the deck. Mafuba is definitely in the sideboard. The 1 Battering Laser, because Battering Laser is incredibly good. I can even maybe see it bumping up to 2, but the way the deck is so extra card heavy, I really don't want to. And like I said before, we're always on the verge of having real low deck size, so we usually do see the Battering Laser in the instances we need it, like with the Adult Class Vegeta, or like a Gogeta going for game, things like that, or Shenron giving something triple strike and then going in for game that way. So really good there. 4 Fledgling Talent Pan. This is my personal tech in the deck. I am a big fan of this card in in any wish deck that's basically going to be reliant on recursion from the drop area. So what she does is she's a 1-drop yellow, so typically I do want to hit her on turn 1 and play her down. So activate main once per turn, choose 1 card from your hand, place it on the drop area, draw 1 card. So sadly she is not a +1 like something like Majin Buu or Kronoa, but what she does is she helps you set up. A lot of times if you're playing a wish deck and you're not playing a card like this, you're going to have to do some very awkward combos. You're going to have to let your opponent swing at you, and then you're going to have to, I mean, let's say they're swinging their 10k leader, you're 10k leader, they swing, they draw a card. You want to take that hit because you're at like 8-7 life. You want to just draw a free card, but you need to get something in the drop area for your Child's Wish to go off. So you combo that quick thing and go tanks, and you don't take the damage. You literally just take a fat neg for no reason. I'm a really big fan of Fledgling Talent Pan because of the value she provides over the game. She may not be a +1 herself, but she turns other cards in your deck into less of a neg, if that makes sense. She turns your plays, she turns your turns into something less awkward than they should be, which I'm a really big fan of. So Fledgling Talent Pan just sets up all your recursion plays from the drop area with your wishes. Really big fan of her in the deck at 4 right now to start off your game. 3 Explorer Bulma. This is what I was talking about in place of the 4-drop Shenron. She basically comes in and allows us to get a lot more defensive because we can tap out for something like a Gogeta or a Shenron Wish Granter, and then we can bring back the Explorer Bulma to untap energy and still be defensive. So I'm really a big fan of her at 3 in the deck. And just the fact she replaces herself, she's really solid. Then we have the 3 Source Power Son Goku. So in slower matchups, what will happen is you'll find yourself sitting at like 7 life for a long time, especially against like another bomb deck that's trying to just get to the mid game and drop their bomb before you do. So Source Power Son Goku, what it allows you to do is put pressure on those decks specifically, and it allows you to take your own life to hand so that you can just see more cards and you can sit at that 4 life comfortably. Even though we're not playing a typical Awakening leader deck, I still find 4 life to be the comfortable spot to sit at. And another thing too is that if your Spirit Search Trunks is just sitting on board, unfortunately it's not going to be live until you're at 4 life, and the only ways we had before the Source of Power were to drop at all costs and rip 2 and potentially put ourselves at something awkward. But Source of Power is really good because you're able to take 1 life if it's necessary, take 2 life if it's necessary. You can give him triple strike with the Shenron or Wish Granter. He'll get dual attack on his own by his own effect, so he'll go up to a 20k base, and then he'll go up to a 15k triple strike, so a 35k triple strike with dual attack. And then if you leave him standing up on the second swing, you don't swing the second time yet, you use your leader effect to give him triple attack. He gets 4 total swings at a 35k base triple strike. That is insane. That's one of the big things I'm talking about when I say this deck can create a Wincon out of nowhere, which I'm really I really like it, and I think it's really good. So typical curve for this deck, you're gonna if you have the Fledgling Pan turn 1, you want to charge yellow turn 1, otherwise it's blue for objection. So Pan turn 1, you're gonna ditch. I personally want to get quick thinking into the drop area as soon as possible. It's either gonna be a quick thinking or a Spirit Search Trunks if I draw it early enough. Second turn, you do want to hit your objection, and at this point you should have almost all your Dragon Balls in the drop area for turn 3. So turn 3, you'll get your final Dragon Balls into the drop area. You'll be on 4 energy if you did hit objection early enough. So at this point, your Fledgling Pan has gotten you your drop area set up. It's gotten you your quick thinkings to the drop area. It's gotten you your Spirits or Trunks to the drop area, your Sources of Powers, or your Explorer Bulmas. So what you'll do is you'll hard cast the Child's Wish, and my favorite play is to bring back quick thinking Go Tanks, and then flip over to the Wish side, get back the Child's Wish, cast the Child's Wish for free, get the quick thinking back onto the board. So at that point, you got 2 quick thinking Go Tankses, 2 15k crits onto the board for 2 energy. They're both drawing you cards, and it's just the nuts because you're swinging for 2 15k crits on turn 3. So and the ability for your opponent to answer that is very limited because they're not quite at the Gogeta turn yet. And the only real efficient way they answer that is by a Goku Oob if they're a lineage leader. I'm sorry, a World Tournament leader. So that's one of my insane combos with the deck that I really like, and I think Fledgling Pan really facilitates that really well. So guys, thank you so much for listening to the deck profile. I hope you guys do enjoy this deck profile. I hope you guys are having fun with your set 5 testing. If you guys need a little bit of an inkling, I hope this was helpful to you. So please let me know what you guys think about the deck profile down in the comments below. I'll definitely be getting you guys some gameplay with this deck ASAP, so count on that. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any input on the deck, please do let me know down in the comments below. I will also list our Discord server link down in the description below as well. We talk about everything Dragon Ball Super related, so definitely hit that up. They can get the guys can give you some advice for your set 5 testing. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Joey. This is CrossFit TCG, and I'll see you next time.